What if Devil Wears Prada wasn't just a cool idea, but a full D&D one-shot your table could play tonight? Today, we're brewing the Devil Wears Prada into a complete one-shot, breaking down the design, the drama, and the decisions that make it work at the table. Ever wonder how to make Devil Wears Prada into a D&D one-shot? We'll show you how to do it. After all, this is how we brew it. Homebrew is where the heart is. It's where dungeon masters, murder hobos, dice goblins, and chaos gremlins come together to turn big ideas into unforgettable adventures. So how do you take that spark, a setting, a villain mechanic, and turn it into something that actually works at the table? It's simple. We brew it. They've got 6 flavorful categories to walk through, designed to help you build campaigns and capture the feel of your favorite worlds and IPs. Today, we're starting with the Devil Wears Prada. Oh, I love this movie. But first, today, Taylor, our sponsor is D&T. So, Taylor, I'm going to challenge you to do this and read for D&T as if you were a character, but what other character would you be? But Miranda Priestly. Let's go for it, Taylor.
Mid-session slump. Mid-session slump. I'm sorry, are you saying you've hit a mid-session slump? You're telling me you log out right as the DM asks you what to do? Oh, honey. Honey. When you look at this, what do you see? T? D and T? Oh, honey, this is more than just D&T. This is channeling your arcane focus. This is tea that has been crafted. It started as a leaf. And then from a leaf, it was taken off the tree by somebody. And I may not know how tea works or how it's created, but somewhere between the tree and the bag, it was put into a factory. And then that person who took it from the factory, they put it in a little tea bag. And they put the little tea bag in that box that you call just D&T. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. This is crafted for your mind to be sharp. This is crafted so your roleplay is even sharper, smooth, flavorful, dangerously easy. This is not just D&T, honey. This is something that you can get for 15% off with the code DSP. So the next time you see a bag of tea that looks normal to you, ask yourself, does this keep my brain online? No, D&T does. And trust me, find a bag of D&T that's in cerulean blue.
Okay. Thanks for D&T being our sponsor today.
Thank you.
We're going to go through the categories. Nice job, Taylor. Our categories of base build are Resonance and Vibe, E, Extra Froth, W, Weird for Us, I, Inciting Quest, and T is Threat Level. What are the core components for base build? Poetic Heart Sing for Resonance and Vibe. E is Extra Froth for us. Weird for Us is also that. You just broke my brain with that ad read.
Sorry.
It's okay. Let's go for B, base build, Taylor. How are we going to turn Devil Wears Prada into a D&D one-shot? And already I have questions because, Devil Wears Prada has 0 combat. So, what are we going to do? But, how do we do this? How do we make this great?
No, that's a good question. So I, as you can tell from my cerulean blue monologue that I tried to push in, I love Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite movies, actually. And I think something that is really fascinating about Devil Wears Prada is the concept of climbing to the top, but it's also the concept of the person you think is your greatest enemy is actually your greatest ally.
Right.
And so I would almost classify this in the category of political intrigue more than dungeon crawling or combat or fantasy exploring. Excuse me. I think in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, leaning into political intrigue as the base build for. I mean, again, we always touch on things. We talk about base build and we touch on everything else. Even though we're touching on Inciting Quest a little, I think when it comes to the base build of what this is supposed to be, I think you should very much lean into the role play and the political intrigue of climbing to the top as heroes. Or if you want to, I think something that could be interesting for core components is something that we don't see very often is you're all a part of, you're all rogues in Thieves Guild.
Mm-hmm.
But you're level 1. And so nobody trusts you and nobody wants to do anything. So is the base build, let's all play rogues. I think that's fascinating because rogues get to lean into a lot of the persuasion and the deception of things on top of the sneaking around and trying to like accomplish things undercover in much the way that some of the characters do in Devil Wears Prada, where they try to appease the master without actually like, you know, being like at the forefront of the thing that they did, you know, being like, oh, I'm going to accomplish this task, but she doesn't think that. She has to think that she did it, you know? And I think that's very fascinating. So I would say a part of base build is just make everybody rogues and like make it an all rogue one shot and have fun with the Thieves Guild. Like that sounds really cool to me.
Rogues for a one shot, Taylor. Groundbreaking.
I mean, you could also kind of do the same thing with all bards, but I think that's weirder take. I would call that weird for us more than base build.
Yeah. So here's I will push back because I'm like, okay,
yes.
If we were going to advertise, for example, that we ran a Bridgerton event, right? At a bookstore, and it was great.
True.
Right? If we're going to advertise Devil Wears Prada as a one shot, right?
True.
And I tell my friends, we're going to do a Devil Wears Prada one shot, right? And we do a bunch of rogues at a Thieves Guild, I think that's wrong.
Okay.
Right? Like, now, if you're getting all your, like, bros over, and we're going to be like, and they're going to be like, why are we in a fashion magazine? So I was like, okay, well then, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
like, you should do the rogues thing, and you can get all the symbol. Because you're right. Ultimately, Devil Wears Prada is more political intrigue and all of that going on within the context of fashion. You could technically move it outside of fashion, and you would have some of the base story that's there. You would miss tons of things about this, but that's the case, right? So I would push back and be like, okay, should we like forego as much D&D as possible in order for us to do like fashion and like clothes and outfits, right? And like all of that, you know, like, you know, because like even like the cerulean blue, cerulean sweater monologue is which is an essential thing that you just did in our ad read. Like you need to like work harder to be like the whole entire world is like working till you stole that object, right? It doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
You know, I would say bards do that a little bit better because it's like, why do you think you adventured in the first place? Because you heard the song of the bard that was as a kid that told you the tale of this hero. And why are you out there? And like bards don't matter? You think the barbarian with that lung-headed barbarian over there swinging his sword was the thing that made this happen? No, the reason the barbarian believed he could be the bard in the first place was the song. You know, like that sort of thing. Makes more sense to me. But how could we get it to be like fashion?
Well, yeah. Well, okay. You're speaking my language. Because I think if we're pivoting away from rogues. Everything I said doesn't matter, everyone. Everything I said before, bad. But if we're really gonna pivot with rogues, which is where the back of my brain was going anyway, I was like, maybe rogues. I think we steal a little bit of influence, a little bit of inspiration from. We love her, one of my favorite DMs in the world, Abria Iyengar, who did a Court of Fae and Flowers for Dimension 20, where fashion was a huge part of this world that didn't necessarily need it, but it was a huge part. Now, was it a core of the world? Not really. It was a mechanic that helped, and it was also a narrative tool that allowed her to throw inspiration to people, and it was really fun, and it did a reputation tracker and all that, right? I think we steal that, or we borrow that, and we make that the core build of this world. We make them fashion bards. Every single one of them. They are all fashion bards. But the bard who is in charge of everything that is happening, you have to prove that you are worth it to her. You know? And so I think some of the core builds we can put into this are fashion being the main way that you like gain inspiration. I think we could throw reputation trackers in here. We've thrown that in we do that in Bridgerton. I think we should take that over and put it in here because it's not reputation for like how society sees you. It's reputation for how your boss sees you.
You're right.
You know, I think that's a huge mechanic that can actually help make this feel way more like Devil Wears Prada. And I think, yeah, like you said, I think it's making fashion the literal like core of this story.
Right.
And making you all bards in which everything you do has to be through fashion. All
Right.
your magic is through fashion. All of your roles have to do with fashion. Like it's all clothes. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. So in some ways, almost what you would want to do is have some of these bards be like College of Glamour bards, right?
Yes.
For sure. But the other, I would almost say, is we would almost make them want to be like artificers who like artifice their magic into clothing.
Sure, that's sure. Yeah, I think that's cool too. I think maybe we could. I think the more we talk about it, I'm like, I wonder if there's just a version of each class that can be just that can be in this world. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm like not mad at the idea that there is a blade singer. I mean, and this may be wrong, but I'm like, what subclass of a wizard like has to do stuff like with material? Like every material component they use is just them creating an outfit. You know what I mean? That like does the spell. Or is there? I don't know.
What if a spell scroll is an outfit? We don't need to do a lot of fancy mechanics, because this is also going to be a thing that's so much more about vibe and story and playing the right character than anything else. But now, we've got this court of some kind that is heavy into fashion, and the reputation of your boss, and being promoted to be like a big bard of repute will be all around like fashion and clothes and all these other things, and then pleasing the head bard. The question I would have then is, and probably the most thing that is technically more of like a vibe check, but is actually to me the most important build, is everybody else can play anybody else, but the dungeon master has to play the Miranda Priestly character so well.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about that. How do we actually play that character right?
How do we play that character right?
Because it's not even like we just created them. We said, oh, they're the head bard, and there's this court of fae and flowers, or this court of fanciness that cares about fashion. That's all we need for the backstory. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like I don't remember how Miranda Priestly became the head of the fashion magazine. It's important though that she is the head of the fashion magazine, and that she's insane like as like a boss, but also amazing as a boss. Like that's what we need. So how do we as a dungeon master play that character?
Well, yeah, I think you have to have this balance of like, I think when it comes to Miranda Priestly, I think the thing about her is that she cares a lot about her line of work, more than she cares about. She sees that the people around her are replaceable to an extent. That it's like, oh, if you don't care about this line of work the way that I do, then I don't know if you should be here. At the same time, though, if you show that you care as much as she does, then she goes, oh, you need to stay. You need to stick around. You're actually like, you understand the gravity of this, of how passionate you need to be about this line of work to actually be here and make a difference. As a DM, I think it's like, you can't be a jerk. Like we're not playing horrible bosses with Jason Statham or whoever those actors are.
Right.
We're not.
Jason
I
Sudeikis.
definitely did not say any of the actors in that movie. Yes.
That's Sudeikis.
Jason Bateman is what I meant to say.
Yeah, Jason Bateman, Sudeikis, and Charlie Day are all there, yeah.
But we're not playing horrible bosses. You're not playing Hell's Kitchen. Like you're not Gordon Ramsay. Like this is not that situation. This is you as a DM are playing a character that cares so much about what you do that anybody that cares less is not worth being in the room.
Right.
And it's that kind of vibe that's the difference between, like, you care. It's not that you don't care about people, it's that you care a lot about fashion. And I think that's the directional tilt, which also means, I think, it's like you're not going to play a character that's like giving out compliments 24/7.
Right.
You're going to be a character that's like asking questions. Did you do this? Did you do that? Why didn't you do that? That doesn't make any sense. You're wrong. I'm moving on. Like, this is enough of my time, you know? And there's a quickness to it. There's a matter of fact to some of the things, to most of everything that she says.
Right.
There's also a guardedness to emotion that I think you can allow characters to win out of you as a DM as you play this NPC if they roll high enough or if they make choices that really show how much they care. Reward them with your Miranda Priestly character being a little more open about how she feels about certain things, about some of her insecurities, about some of the things she's going through in her life outside of fashion. Allow these characters to gain your trust as a metric for how well they're doing in the game.
Right, the reputation tracker, the trust tracker.
Trust tracker is a better way to say it than reputation.
Trust tracker, yeah.
Make it a trust tracker. How much she trusts you.
Yeah. I think from like acting coaching perspective, right? Because that's the right mindset to have. Like this character cares so much. And some of the things that you were already doing as you played or describing the character and the ad read is like one of the reasons why the cerulean sweater, like the cerulean blue monologue is so important is like, I believe up until that point in the movie, we don't see Miranda Priestly talk for an extended period of time. She pretty much gives like 1 or 2 sentences or like 3 or 4 questions and that's it, right? Like, did you do this? Why is it not up to my standard? I don't care, get it done, right? It's like very typical monologue or like dialogue for her, stuff like that. And so finally, right, like Anne Hathaway's character, Andy, is like, I don't want to, like, it's not that important. And then she goes and she's like, it's important. And then goes off for like 3 minutes on fashion, right? That's the longest thing. So one really simple thing for you to do from an acting / playing this character perspective, short sentences, not a lot of words, unless they're talking about fashion, right? Unless they're really going to do that. Save that moment. Write out the monologue yourself too. Like for the bards and fashion and like why all this works, you do have to come up with like some of those like one-liners, like, you know, florals for spring, you know, like groundbreaking. My favorite is what's it called? What is it? By all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how much that thrills me. Incredible lines, right? Like you could pull some of these lines directly from the movie because they would work, but also just like come up with a couple of these one-liners that are like really powerful, and I think you'll kind of create the character you're going for. Short sentences, abrupt, brusque type of sentences will really help you get that done. And when you're doing voice acting and you're playing characters, like think about the speed and the tone in which you do things, and then how your sentences are structured, and you can kind of really create the character the right way. As they join the court, are we going to let's build out a little bit more of the world for this court, and then we'll be done. So what is the court they are joining, and what is the thing they are trying to accomplish? Like, what is the big piece they're trying to accomplish? Because, like, you know, in Devil Wears Prada, they're working on the fashion magazine. They're constantly working on that. What are these bards and these people doing, and what is the Miranda Priestly character, this head bard, doing?
I mean, I think, not to do history here, but I think going back to some of like the medieval times that a lot of D&D fantasy is based on, the best way to show what you can create as somebody who created fashion was to give it to royals. So I think this is, in my opinion, centered around like all these bardic characters who are working for this bard who is in charge of making the clothes for like the royal family or for all the families who attend like a ball. And it's like, no, we have a clock here. You need to hurry up because the ball is happening tonight. Like something like that, you know what I mean? And it's like, we need to get all these clothes together. And it's akin to a fashion show. So it's like, you're creating I think that is a good exciting quest, is that you're creating all these clothes and she hired you all. You're like, her interns from last year, she fired. So it's like, you're all the new bardic interns. I need you to do your job. And if you don't, you are all leaving at the end of this night. Right. You know?
Right.
Which I think is fascinating.
I would almost say you're designing for like a prince or princess or family, and like this is going to solidify political marriages, and the court that these people are going to attend is going to be of that import. But there is opportunities for the fashion to like matter in this way.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool, because then it's like, okay, there's some extra stakes here. Like, it's not just this, like at the end of the day, it's like, oh, like like, you know, someone can just be like, what's the fashion show for? Like, why are we making this? Why do we care so much about this dress? They're going to get there. They're going to be fine. It's like, no, like, if we can solidify our kingdom's future based on this type of thing, like there's a real reason to care. And so that the Miranda Priestly character cares, and it's for a good reason that everyone kind of understands.
Right. I would even push to say, to make it very fast. So now I'm actually getting into a little bit extra fun. I would even push to say that to make this more interesting, more complicated, and also for me as between the two of us as the puzzle lover, I think mechanically making this more interesting for a quest is to make every single party member, they're making a specific outfit for a different child in the royal family.
Ooh, okay.
And all of them have to, and maybe there's a majority of them, like there's a certain number of them that have to be good enough for this like political, maybe we even push it away from royal ball. Maybe it's a political dinner, literally. Yeah. If this dinner does not go well, the kingdom is gonna go to war. It's that bad, you know? And there's a different kid for every single bard, and the Miranda Priestly character is in charge of making sure all of the clothes are good. So that's her pressure, is like, all of these have to be good, and I've hired all of you to make a different one, you know? And then you can also, a little bit of fun, and again, when I talk about mechanics and puzzles, give each of your players a little piece of paper with different requirements on them. Or different specifications that maybe are a little hard to decipher. Maybe you can give them a piece of paper that says components to a spell, and they don't even know what the spell is. But that's the thing that, like, maybe those components are what you have to make the dress out of. And you have to go find those components, you know? It's like 500 gold pieces of silver powder, or like, you know, worth 500 gold worth of silver powder, and this other thing, and this other thing. And it's like, and then you have to find the phrase in Elvish. And it's like, what is this piece of paper? And the Miranda Priestly character goes, figure it out. And like walks away. And like your character's like, I have to figure this out. I don't know what this is.
That's one of the coolest things of like one of those sequences where Anne Hathaway is just running around New York City.
Yes.
And trying to get all this stuff done. And like, what I think that's like where she forgets to pick up the coffee or something.
Yes.
And like,
yeah, exactly.
Meryl Streep is like, is there some reason that my coffee isn't here? Did somebody die? Did she die?
Exactly.
Amazing. Like,
and throw that in there too. Like, as they're making these dresses, the complication of the Miranda Priestly, you as a DM being like, oh, you're leaving? Half calf.
Yeah. Please get my tea steeped on my desk and
right. I need my D&T here in exactly 5 minutes. But the coffee shop is closed. 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be fun.
Yes. I think that really rounds it out into a full story. And like, there's reasons for this. And the interns probably don't know that why this dinner is important. They don't know that there's warp on the horizon. They don't know like that these potentially political marriages out of the dinner or any of these other things that are going to happen to the dinner are going to matter. They're just like, we're just making clothes for the royal family, whatever. And she's like, no, this is why we're making clothes. Like that's cool.
That's the monologue. That's where you put in the Cerulean Blue monologue, where it goes, where it's like in 300 years ago, a little girl asked for a dress. This dress was like, she asked for a dress for a dinner. We made this dress, yada, yada, yada. So-and-so wears the dress. She marries the prince. The prince's father was going to go to war. He was going to destroy half of the continent. Because they got married, because of this dress, she was able to cuddle up to the king. The king liked her enough and listened to her when she said, do not go to war, instead make peace. They made peace. And that is the reason our kingdom is still alive. This is not just a dress. It is our future. Like, you know what I mean? Right. It's like that kind of thing. So when they go, oh, this dinner's important. Like, okay, you know?
Right. Slash, if you just want to steal what Taylor basically said as a monologue, that's pretty good.
Steal it. Just take it.
That's pretty good.
Take it all.
All right, just to recap then, we're going to do The Devil Wears Prada as a one-shot. We're going to take inspiration from the court of fame flowers, and fashion is a huge part of the world, from your favorite dungeon master, Taylor. We're going to make everyone be very much into fashion. We're going to choose a trust tracker to track how your boss sees you, the head bard, Miranda Priestly, or whatever we're going to call her. And everyone can be College of Glamour bards, or just like a variety of classes that care about this in general, though I think in general I would probably not care too hard about the classes in the first place.
Yeah.
But make sure that as you the dungeon master play Miranda / the devil, she cares so much about what she's doing. She cares so deeply about the art. She cares about the history. She cares about all of it so much that she sometimes stomps over other people. Play it that way. And then also, again, think about speaking in shorter sentences and having a couple one-liners prepared, and prepare that monologue so that there's a moment for this to really go off and it will feel the right way. Short sentences, abrupt, brusque. The plot and all of this, the inciting quest is the party are all interns, and the Miranda Priestly characters in charge of designing clothes for the royal family at political dinner. If the dinner doesn't go well, then the kingdom may go to war. And the interns need to design an outfit for each of the children of the royal family. Each child has different requirements for their outfits that are wild and in between, and don't necessarily even make sense, and they have to figure out what to make this happen. And that will be the one shot. Taylor, I will say also, that type of puzzle might actually be something that I would enjoy.
Yay!
Because trying to figure out what I'm gonna being able to ask what does this person like, and then trying to design an outfit for them. I would be in for that puzzle.
It'd be fun.
I would be in for that puzzle, which is a rare occurrence because everybody knows.
Yes.
Who knows me is that I hate puzzles.
Yes.
All right, Taylor. Any final things we'd like to say?
Yes, you need to make Miranda Priestling an infernal tiefling, and if not, then you don't get the joke.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
That's fair. And do not comment if you do not do that, because details of your incompetence do not interest me.
That's wild. Come on, quotes. Come on, quotes.
Why is nobody ready?
We could just do this all day.
That was Captain America. That was back in the day. We already did that. All right, Taylor.
We did.
All right.
We did.
All right. Anyway, if you liked this video, you could like and subscribe for more content like this. So please do that. That'd be great. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.
This is how we brew it.
Jurassic Park, How to Train Your Dragon, The Princess Bride, Inception, Matrix, Mad Max, Fury Road, John Wick, Ghostbusters, Pokemon, Hunger Games, 28 days later.
Hey there, just want to shout out to our patrons. Thanks so much for subscribing on Patreon and supporting the show. Thanks to Count Bubba, Fizz, Fedorva Will, Richard, Varner Jr., and Who's Scruffy Looking.